Beyond your paycheck, it's surges of cash that you can use to grow your net worth and feed your investments.
So what was the big aha moment for you with crypto where you realized that I can see this for something different than everybody else is seeing, right? I have
Yeah.
a different approach or strategy. Let me try this. Like, what was that moment like?
I mean, until you really experience what crypto can provide, like you literally have no idea. It's kind of like when a parent talks about the love of a child. I think you can conceptualize that, but until you have your own, like you truly will never understand what that is. And so with cryptocurrency, I mean, I think we've all, just like you said, right? Everybody's heard the pitch, everybody knows the potential upside and risks. But until you really experience it where you have a little bit of money that grows into a lot of money in short periods of time, I mean, you just don't know. And so the big aha moment for me was uh, was going from trading shit coins and losing money over and over and over again to having this passive income stream that blew up, went bananas. And not even the fact that it blew up, but the fact that it actually worked. That like I was turning out capital every single day that I could then turn into cash and I could go do what I want. Side note for you guys, if you're listening to this, it's a great example. Like Chris said, if you're in something that's generating passive income, especially if it's really high passive income, that's something to likely be taking profit on very consistently because those things typically don't last long term. So we have plenty of those things where we bought in, and I've had stuff where APRs were as high as like 3,000% APR. And then as more people get in, it naturally pushes those balances down. And so like those are opportunities to take profit and mitigate risk really well. That's not something to FOMO and compound everything back in. That's an opportunity to be taking profits. And so with a little bit of strategy and understanding the things that are available out there, that's really what led to the aha moment when I was actually making passive income, and I was making so much more passive income than I could with a rental property that it blew my mind. That was the big moment.
And you don't have to go out and search for properties, and you don't have to go look at 10 to find one that has the right juicy equity position. And you don't have to find the right renter who's willing to pay you 10% over market value for rent and somebody who's got good credit. Like all the complexities of that are gone. And then what you said earlier about appreciation is big because as an investor on my side, I do nothing but long-term rentals, or I do lease purchases or lease options, kind of like the Chris Crone method. And I like it, compassionate financing, because it helps people. But I'm an appreciation guy. Like I think 3 of my rentals don't make any money at all. They actually negative cash flow because the loan is not super great because of when I'm buying them now. And I'm overpaying every month to try to get more principal paid down. And I'm losing probably $300 to $400 a month on some of these rentals. Sure. But I don't really care because I'm making where I buy between, I think 5 and 8% appreciation every year. That's the formula that I've created for what I buy. And I think appreciation investors are the ones that make the most money usually in investing. Like what I see, and I own a real estate investing company, just so you know. I think you already knew that. Business acquisition coaching company, like marketing agency coaching company, marketing and learning how to launch your online coaching business coaching company. And we own a whole slew of businesses, right? And I get to watch all these different things that people do. And it's interesting to see how so many people quit what they're doing, find a full-time side hustle, get into this flipping strategy where they're living off of the proceeds of their flips. And all of a sudden they've just created a harder job for them with more instability. And their money that they can actually invest is just getting recycled and not growing their net worth. Compared to when you look at appreciation, which is what I love, is I'm literally growing my net worth by 4, 6, 7, 8% equity position getting stronger in all these different properties, all these different horses in the race. And it's outpacing my normal income. And that's where wealth comes from is that plus time, plus volume, right? And what you're able to do is you're able to cut out all the BS and the time and a lot of the, I wouldn't use the word risk necessarily, but it's just very involved to do real estate. And you have to have a team to add scalability, right? Mm-hmm. And what you're doing here, you don't need a giant team. You don't probably need a transaction coordinator. You're not paying a real estate agent to buy and sell and commissions. And it's just like, it's very interesting how you guys have figured this out. So,
well, that's one of the best parts about it, right? Becoming an entrepreneur, I mean, you know this, being an entrepreneur is hard. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Building the skill
correct.
set to be a truly good entrepreneur, it's a lot. And most people are not going to make it. They just aren't. Most people aren't built for that. And that's fine. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a master entrepreneur to be able to go and do really well for yourself. You need to find tactics, though, that align with who you are and what your goals are. And that's where crypto, in my opinion, once again, using it correctly can change everything. You don't have to become a master marketer. You don't need to hire and fire anybody. You don't need to build a team. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You just need to understand some fundamentals. You need to be able to learn how to apply those. I always recommend starting with just a little bit of money. If you're going to come in and do crypto, start with just a little bit of money and get your feet wet. Everybody wants to come in, and we all get FOMO. You see an opportunity and you want to go in heavy when you think something is bulletproof, and that can be problematic. So with anything, you want to mitigate risk. You want to make sure you're wrapping your head around stuff. And as you get more familiar, then you could go and you could put more substantial money in. I mean, I've put close to $1 million of my own capital from other businesses in crypto. And frankly, I feel a lot more secure with my money there than I do in the bank because I'm in control of it. And that's a skill set that I built over time. And once again, it's a beautiful thing because I'm the one that's in charge, and you don't need all of the things that are required to be a good entrepreneur.